she'll join in for Q&A. So Yonder is a dental education platform that helps patients prepare for new experiences and helps dentists build lasting relationships with those families. So Courtney and I came together about going on 2.5 years ago at the Medical Devices Center at the University of Minnesota. Between the two of us, we've got a good mix of corporate, educational, medical, and just business background. And back 2.5 years ago when we started this project, we weren't quite sure where we were going, but quickly we realized that there was a unmet need in the pediatric dental space that we really wanted to tackle. So if you do a common Google search today as a parent, this is what you'll find if you type in how to prepare your child for the dentist. A lot of questions, a lot of concerns, some tips and tricks, but no uniform approach to help prepare families for the first time before they step foot in the dental office. And so as a result of that, we thought there was a great opportunity to use the home and the mobile app platform to help prepare kids for first-time visits. And so we worked with Dr. Fong at Metro Pediatric Dental Associates back in 2018 to do some pilot testing with her patients to see what would happen if we introduced the practice weeks in advance of the visit. And so what does this look like? It's a 3-step process. We come in, observe, and watch the workflow of a practice itself. We then go and film and edit the content specific to each practice and dentist. We build the app that you can then deploy to your patients in a very streamlined manner. And then kids and parents come in better prepared for their upcoming visits, decreasing the variability associated with first-time visits for kids that might be apprehensive about going in. And so when we decided to build this, we wanted to make sure that we made it as efficient and streamlined as possible for the practices. So we record no patient data. There's no contact information that we take in, and there's no way for us to communicate with the patients and the parents themselves. And so it's a very efficient manner of getting up to speed and deployed within a practice. In fact, if you use text-based messaging or email-based systems, we're ready to go and deploy as soon as the app is ready to go. And so this is kind of what we've seen as the workflow before our platform, our educational app is currently in existence. And there might be some slight variation, but what we've seen is a parent calls in, the front desk takes the necessary information, the appointment is confirmed, and then a text or email is sent or paper mail is sent to the parents with future information. And then there's this dead space where you might reach out to confirm that they're coming in, but there's nothing being done to prepare the child for the visit. And then eventually the visit takes place. Where we come into play is those weeks leading up to that actual visit, where we have an opportunity to do a couple things: introduce them to you and your practice, build familiarity, build a rapport, and then also educate those patients and families to have a better experience by knowing exactly what they're going to see and feel and interact with, both people and also things. And so this is kind of what it'll look like. We would send a specific app. We would send a text message with a specific app install link, and then the parents would just click that link and it'll go directly to their app store, and then all they would need to do is download the app and enter the code. And so a big part of what we wanted to do is ensure that we weren't disrupting the workflow at the practice itself. We understand how busy and chaotic it is just trying to provide great service and experiences for patients when they're in the door. So our job is to make sure they come in with the best ability to have that experience without having to do extra work. So there's no downloading something at the visit itself. There's no extra hardware to deploy. There's no additional questions that need to be asked other than when the child and parent first comes in, did the child prep with Mimi before the visit? And then if they have, you get to use Mimi as a way to reference throughout the visit. Hey, remember how Mimi showed you to sit here? Remember how Mimi showed you the tools and the moves? And so it's just streamlined into the actual visit itself with no extra steps taken or necessary. And so in the first year in 2018, when we were doing our pilot study, we asked the parents what they thought about the visits, and the moms of these, little explorers have said, the app helped. And this is what the hygienists are saying, actually. I'll have the next one with the moms. But the app held the dental team, and we didn't have to do as much tell, show, do, which saved time. Child held Mimi sticker throughout the visit, and sat in the chair like Mimi showed. She was really familiar with our office already and really excited. She talked about Mimi during the visit, opened her mouth with Mimi Q. She said, "I love Mimi." There was another patient at the same time in the office crying, but it didn't affect Genevieve. So we're showing that on different levels, the ability to educate the child before the visit has shown different, tips and tricks that have helped make the visits streamlined and more efficient for the hygienist and less mentally taxing. Because if you have a fussy child, it's hard on everybody. And so we think we can increase consistency by preparing the kids in our age group that we're targeting, which are first-time visits between 2 and 5. But we've seen it work with older kids and also kids under the age of 2 as well. And so, some stats from the dental staff: 100% of the patients were more prepared for first-time visits compared to patients without the app. 100% of the patients recognized the tools during the visit: the mirror, the tooth counter, the brush. And 90% of our patients opened their mouth when Mimi was used as a reference by asking, "What does Mimi say? Can you say ah like Mimi?" And the staff found it in at least 50% of the patients, the experience easier, faster, and more cooperative. And so some more stats here. Patients were easier to work with compared to first-time patients without the app. 60% of patients were more cooperative compared to first-time patients without the app. 50% of visits were faster compared to first-time patients without the app. So what we're showing is it's either on the same level or substantially better in terms of how the workflow is happening downstream after that app has been deployed. And 100% of the parents that we've worked with are happy that an app was available to help prepare their child for the visit. And so here are the moms talking about what they saw. Kira's generally very shy, and this app was incredibly helpful. It's a great way to get them interested. He wanted to see the app several times in a row. Adeline actually said, "Can we go to the dentist now?" Overall, seeing the environment before entering the first time was helpful. And she wanted it twice in a row. Sorry, I put that one twice. But point is, we've had a lot of parents talking about how they found it very beneficial before the visit. And so happy parents make word of mouth marketing a breeze. And so obviously, as you all are running businesses and need to maintain profitability, we think this is a unique and new way of generating word of mouth marketing that's shown to have a very long-lasting effect once a parent and child has a great experience. On average, a parent is telling another parent every 12.4 days about the app. And this is us asking 3, 6, and 9 months post-visit how many people it told and talked about their experience. And in terms of direct referrals, again, after 3, 6, or 9 months, we've seen on average 1.3 extra direct referrals to our pilot dentist. And industry standard says somewhere between $150 to $350 per acquiring new patients. And so, it's a very expensive endeavor to, invest into marketing using the traditional means that are currently out there. And so kind of some extra thoughts on, how they're telling people. I've told people at work, I've told people on Facebook, I've told 4 other parents. And so we've seen a lot of word of mouth conversation between parents. What we realize is parents want to be helpful to other parents. And so when they see something that works, they're more than happy to talk about it. And so this is a little bit busy, but essentially what you need to focus on is the purple star, which is where our pilot dentist was. And these red circles are the cities of new parents that haven't actually been to our practice yet, but have been referred to our dentist here in the middle here. And on all these other blue marks are other general or pediatric dental offices that are available, that are even potentially closer than our one spot. So what we've seen is we can extend the radius of reach by a significant margin by using the app and having happy parents come through. And so, we kind of want to stop there. We have plenty more we can talk about data-wise as well, but, we're happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Thank you so much, Adam. I found myself laughing. It's a good thing I was on mute. Just the cute little things that kids said. So does anyone have any questions? Anyone?
My name is Suzanne. I work with Apple Tree Dental.
Hi.
Is there a cost for creating? What is
Sure.
the office's cost?
Yep. So our pricing model is we charge $795 per dentist to get the app set up, and that doesn't matter on how many practices or offices they are at. We'll make as many combinations as necessary. And then our pricing point is $175 per dentist per month. And we landed on that price because we feel as though one bad visit a month is well above that in terms of opportunity cost. And so we think that in the course of a year, conservatively, we can turn 12 bad visits into 12 good visits. And then that in itself pays for the marketing associated with this.
Okay, thank you.
And Adam, this is Nancy. Have you had any experience? I know this is very new. So have you had any experiences yet with our critical access dental clinics or nonprofit clinics, working with them?
Not yet. Our first 3 dentists, 2 paying, 1 and Dr. Fong being the pilot, are all not. I don't believe they're just private practice, not critical care ones or critical access.
Okay.
But we're open to conversations with any groups.
Right, and I know we've talked about that a bit and looking for grant money to try this out in places like Apple Tree, Children's Dental Services, community dental care, things like that, and see how it works with that population as well. I'm just going to ask a few questions, but please interrupt me if anybody else has questions. Is there any special meaning, or where did Mimi come from? I just think that's so cute, but how is that? I'm always trying to figure out, how do you select things like that? How did you pick Mimi?
Courtney, can you jump on for that one? I know you drove a lot of that process.
Yeah, for sure. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm trying this on an app, and so I wanted to make sure I'm doing everything right. So we really wanted to do something that resonated well with children, as far as having a character that they could relate to and they would want to relate to and remember. And so we looked for some animals that had big teeth, kind of to begin with. And then we wanted something that had sort of softer features, because a lot of, we have a young age group, age 2 to 5, and especially the 2 and 3-year-olds, the softer features resonate well with them. So we kind of set out and had many, many versions of Mimi that we actually just took and tested with kids in that age group. So we didn't rely on our own sort of feeling about it. We really got their input. And we asked them, who is your friend? And they picked one or the other. And we just did basically A/B testing in person with them until we ended up at Mimi in the way that she looks at this point. And then we really spent some time on naming the character too, because with my background, I understand that there is speech development that is pretty rapid, but also very varied in that time frame from 2 to 5. And so what we did is look at what children are able to communicate at the age of 2, and all of the consonants that they should have, and there's just a handful of them, and then what kind of word patterns are the easiest for them. And so we found that repeating syllables with certain consonants and all of the vowels was a go. And so we basically made a grid of all of the possibilities of names, and Mimi was one of them, and it just turned out that way. So we've never had a kid who couldn't say Mimi, because that's along normal development. They should be perfectly able to do that, and they have been. So
I love that. That is so interesting. I assumed it was something like that, but it's great to hear. And Courtney, can you tell people on the video conference a little bit about your background, because you are a clinician as well?
Right. So my background is in medicine, and I'm a pediatric ear, nose, and throat surgeon. So I practice only with kids and usually in this age group. So it's one of the age groups that I just absolutely love. And Adam, I'm pretty sure feels the same way. And so us getting together and doing some work for kids in that age group is really important for us. My background allowed me to really understand what the tough points could be in the dental office without being a dentist. Just because I struggle with getting the kids to open their mouth, and I know that that's a really tough one. So that was, for example, one of the things that we focus on in the app. That's one thing Mimi teaches you. And that ends up being a touch point where the hygienist, as Adam was alluding to, they can just easily reference it and the kids open their mouth because they remember Mimi teaching them.
Yeah.
And I think, Adam, you were showing the video of our little tester opening her mouth with it. And I believe she's just under age 2 in this. So she really loves Mimi and works along with her. But having the background really helped out from the clinical side of things.
I can imagine. Let's see, a couple other things. Does anyone else have questions? I don't want to take up all the time. Just interrupt me if you do. One of the other questions I have, and maybe we've covered this before because I know we've talked, but so do they meet in the video? Do the kids meet all the staff? I know from what I've seen, do they meet the receptionist? Do they meet any hygienist, or is it primarily the dentist?
So we have them, and Adam, you can take it if you'd like.
Yep, go for it. I'm just going to pull up a video.
Okay. So we have them try to see everything from start to finish. The people that they see and we get them to actually interact by waving to is the front desk staff. And then, they see their whole pathway getting back into the chair, which is another real challenge to get into the chair.
Yeah.
We leave out the hygienist only because in the offices we've been in so far, it can be pretty variable.
Sure.
And then after they learn the chair and they learn the instruments that, might be there, then they meet the dentist. So we know for sure that they're going to be seeing the dentist, but because of that variability, it is a little tough. We don't want to show them one person and then not have them see that person because some kids really rely on that. So it's something it can be tailored to practice, but most practices, they have such a variety of hygienists that it makes it tough to do.
Yeah, I can understand that. And actually, I've had the same dentist for 20 years, and it's true. I can't always get the hygienist. I don't always see the hygienist that I want to see just because of staffing or whatever. What's next for you two? What's next for Yonder and Mimi?
That's a good question. So we have an exciting summer. We are participating in Min Cup, and we've been chosen to advance through the semifinalist round.
Can you explain what that is?
Yeah, so Min Cup is a statewide business competition and entrepreneurial competition for startups specifically. And we are participating in the educational field because we felt like this really was an educational thing for kids rather than it's, certainly not a medical device, certainly not, health focus necessarily, but we really wanted to capitalize on education for kids.
Yeah.
So that it's a statewide competition where it ends up with usually there's a lot of publicity around people who make it to the additional rounds, but we are participating in that. We're also always looking to add more practices, and we'll be soon up and running with our third practice here next week, I believe. And of course, looking for more practices to partner with so that we can get more children exposed to this. I think that would be, just fantastic for them. Otherwise, we're just kind of pushing the business along and really hoping to expand it. right now we're focused on Minnesota since we are a Minnesota company, but we have no problem going outside of Minnesota, especially in the Midwest here. But I'd say that that's our focus. Adam, do you have anything more to add?
We're a new type of engagement with parents and children, so we're looking for groups that are interested in trying new ways of reaching their families. And so, I can safely say that no other company is offering something like this as high tech and innovative to engage with families. And so, we're the first group that offers a white label, turnkey app solution for dental offices that want to, take the next step in engaging with their clients and their families.
Wonderful.